Okay, I'd like to talk about when you solo on one scale, which is a nice way to get started improvising. And that's because in jazz you can have chords and scales and different keys coming at you every measure, every 2 beats, every beat. If you look at a tune like Lush Life, you'll see keys changing every beat. So one of the things that we have to deal with in jazz is as soon as a new chord comes, what are the notes in the chord? How quickly can you get it? You know, how quickly can you get that information so you can improvise? Well, for beginning improvisers, that could be tricky. So this, let me see, where is it? There it is. This volume that Jamie put out is volume 24. All it is major scale for 4 minutes. You know, all keys. Minor scale for 4 minutes. It's volume 24, major and minor. It's great if you want to get started and just get parked in one key so you can mess around, because if you don't have to worry about all these chords coming at you, then you don't have to, you won't have an aneurysm. And this should be fun. And the trick is, because it's hard enough, even if it is fun, the trick is to make practicing fun, and then you can really get some things done. So we're going to play, I believe this is B-flat Dorian, okay? This is the first track of this play-along. And we'll talk about a couple different ways of how to form this information, because the information is just stuff. It's like if you play baseball, you had a glove and a bat and a ball. It doesn't mean you're playing baseball. It just means you have the stuff. The rest of it is how well can you throw, how well can you hit, how well can you play the game. Well, that's kind of what we're dealing with. The scale, it's just stuff. So what we need is like an approach or some way to look at this information so we can play with it, just like you would play with a bat and a ball, whatever. So we're going to start, and first I'm just going to play you the information. I'm going to try to keep the time straight. That's real important. None of this works if your time is wobbly and you're just not paying attention to the beat. So I'll just play the notes, but then I'll give you just a perspective, just some idea of how I'm thinking, and then I'll improvise using that idea. And you'll see these could be good ways to get started improvising, good ways to get into it without getting too complicated or too theory-oriented. But we are using B-flat Dorian. Okay.
1, 2.
I know him.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so here we go. B-flat Dorian. Concert. Alright, so I'm just kind of noodling around. If all you do is play the scale the way you know it, just up and down, that's all you're going to do. But if I look at this thing as something that I can approach, then let me approach it, say, lyrically. I'm going to think lyrical, alright? Now I'm going to use the same notes. Now I'll think lyrical, but let me think, I'll think ascending. So I'm going to think lyrically, but ascending. That's simple. And these little cues can mean different things to different people, but at least if you have an idea, you'll start to form something. You won't just be going up and down the scale like you're trying out for, Allstate. There we go. Ascending lyrical. Okay, now I'll think triplets, just triplets. Okay, so just triplets. Let me think, I'll think staccato descending ideas that just come down, and I'll think staccato in there. Just basic little concepts, but it helps focus all this big, vast choice buffet. It's always about food, but it's I need some fence in order to create, otherwise you can get lost. So I'm going to descend, and I'm going to use staccato, pointillistic. Now I'll think descending spirals. Well, what are spirals? I don't know, but this is what it means to me. I'll ascend, I'll go up. Okay, and what I'll do now is I'll improvise, and I'll come up with I'll noodle around until I hit on something that I like. Then I'll hold it in place, and when I do that, I'll look right at the camera. That's my signal that I kind of hit on something. And I'm just going to hold this thing, and I'm going to develop it. I'm going to mess with it. I'm going to hold it by its neck and beat it from side to side. So let's see. I'm going to start this up again. I'm going to start this up, I think.
One,
and so
two,
I'm going to sniff around. I'll find something.
3, 4.
And I can alter this thing and stretch it as many different ways as I want. And I'll do one more, and this is endless. You can make up your own perspectives of how you want to approach this. But let's get a tune. Get Happy Birthday. So we know the rhythm to Happy Birthday, and I'm just going to use that rhythm, but I'm going to shape it differently. I might not go in the same direction as the melody, but I'm going to use the Happy Birthday rhythm, and you'll hear it kind of makes sense because I'm automatically phrasing it. This is a cool little trick. Okay? Happy Birthday rhythm. So there are a lot of little tricks that you can use. Call them tricks, call them, perspective, or but they're ideas that can help you jump in to shaping this kind of harmony. And that's what this particular play along is nice for, because you can do it. You could stay in one scale and make this kind of thing happen. So these are just a few of the ways that you can create on a scale, and it's endless. You could probably make about 20 of these clips using different methods, but think that way, and I think you'll find yourself having some fun with this stuff. All right?